Welcome to the Spiritual Speakeasy, where the bar is always open and the spirit is always served, or all spirits are always served. Everybody's served because we're the Spiritual Speakeasy. Yay! Look at that shit. Sorry I'm late tonight. I just picked up a bearded dragon for my grandson from Facebook Marketplace. The bearded dragon's name is Loco, and he is super, super chill. And my son and my grandson are home now feeding it carrots and really cool shit. So that's why I'm late. It was a honest to God good reason to be late. Yay! We're just taking care of pets. Still in a cast. Get this evaluated Thursday to see if I can come out. Vroom, vroom. Got my motorcycle up and running, my brand new one. It is so exciting, getting decals and lights on it. And it is super cool. It's going to have personalized plates. It says Nezuko or Nezuko, but it's spelled with numbers instead of letters because somebody already had the coolest spelling of that. And for those of you who don't know who Nezuko is, she is the demon, half demon girl that travels around in her brother's backpack box, and she gets unleashed to kill demons. So she's half demon and half human. And so she's black, pink, and green accents, and my bike is black, pink, and green. So there we go. Personalized plates, cool bike. How are you? I am doing really well. How are you, Monsignor Snickers? Thank you for joining us. We are here on the Spiritual Speakeasy, and we are going to talk tonight about some interesting things. So I went down this deep dive, and I can't explain why, because the nature of why is a secret. I just hit my table. But the nature of my learning is not a secret. So most of you guys that follow me know I'm a demonologist. Thank you so much. I just took like a huge amount, like 10 inches off of it. And I had taken 10 inches prior to that. So it went down to my ass. I was in a motorcycle crash. Yeah, laid down my ninja, and my hair got caught. Well, my helmet protected my face, but my hair got caught and did some damage to my hair, ripped some dreads, and did some neck damage. So they told me I needed to take off some weight from my hair so that I could recoup my neck. Yeah, so here I am with shorter hair, and yeah, missing the length to my hair, but not the weight. Fractured wrist and fractured femur, but my bike got rebuilt. My son is now driving my Ninja, and I have a brand new Ninja. Hey, how are you? Welcome, welcome. So tonight I want to talk about something. I am big into Alice in Wonderland. As if you can't, like, you probably can't see all my ink, but it's all Alice. My hair still looks great. Thank you so much. My helmet looks like shit, but I got a new helmet. That's the thing about good helmets. So wear equipment. Don't dress to look good. Dress for the slide, because you will. When you're going fast, you will. So that's what I say. Alice in Wonderland is my big thing. Most of my ink is Alice. I do have some Sucker Punch. I can't get that around. Sucker Punch, Upside Down. Some Japanese art. Got some other stuff. Most of my stuff, though, is Alice in Wonderland. And I really like the whole idea of Alice and the Cheshire Cat in the metaphysical and the spiritual world. So with that being said, I wanted to do this thing, like, if we all have labels, right? And everybody's calling everybody name. What brand is your microwave? The sexy kind, Betty. Sexy kind. Cooks fast, hot. If you remove your labels, who are you? And, labels are really big about, on digitalized marketing and Facebook and TikTok and YouTube, right? Hey, sister. Yay! My coven sister's on. Love you. I'm still getting over what brand is my microwave? Like, what do you want to know? Ask more directly. So we all have labels, right? Like we do hashtags. And in the world of TikTok, hashtags become our brand and our labels. So I'm Nezuko Ninja 500. I'm also the paranormal courtesan. I'm a lot of different things with labels. I'm a registered nurse. I'm a master's level nurse. I'm a mental health specialist. I'm a mom. I'm a grandma. I'm a witch. I do a lot of different things. So I got thinking, like, if you remove the label, who are you? And this is the rabbit hole, right? Welcome to the Spiritual Speakeasy, where the bar is always open and all spirits are always served. And I'm usually drinking during this podcast. But you also can't drip. So tonight I want to ask the question that a lot of people spend a lot of their lives avoiding. It's not complicated. It's terrifying. Really, it's terrifying. Who are you without your labels? Who are you without what you call yourself? Your profession, your religion. I mean, a lot of people stand behind, well, I'm Christian, I'm Catholic, I'm this, I'm that. Your politics, I'm left, I'm right, I'm this, I'm that. Your trauma. How many of you have sold your story to be heard? And I don't mean money payoff, not money payoff, but sold your story, like legitimately. To me, it's not your story. It's not what you went through. It's how you came out on top, right? How you won that battle. But for some people, it's the being the victim. It's the whole trauma thing. It's not your gifts. So for me, and I can only speak for me, I'm a psychic medium. I'm a demonologist. I'm a shaman. I do a lot of work. I'm a Reiki master. I'm an RN. I have a master's degree in education. I'm a grandma. Help raising my grandson. I'm a mom. I'm a wife. I'm a lot of different things to a lot. I'm a spiritual guide. I work with spirits and demons and angels. But it's not about my gifts, right? That's a label. Wounds. Wounds can be metaphysical, they can be physical, they can be mental. I have a lot of wounds right now, right? Like a lot of battle scars. Your label. How about your social media bio? What do you look like on Facebook? What do you look like on TikTok? What are you trying to show? What is your brand? What is your hashtag? How many hashtags do you have to explain yourself? I'm a psychopomp of severance. How many of you guys know what that is? Look that shit up. Tell me if you know what that is. A psychopomp of severance. I'm the daughter of perdition. I'm a paranormal courtesan. I'm Nezuko Ninja 500. I'm a witch talk. I'm a lot of different things. Am I my intentions? I would think to some degree I become my intentions because I'm willing that to manifest. But am I really my intentions? Is that my label? Is that who I am? I'm me. Let's strip all that shit away. This is where it gets scary. Let's strip it all away. Who remains after I take all of that shit away? And I have clients that come all the time that say, I don't know who I am. See, and that's the difference, because we spend our entire lives not living, but we collect identities. I need this certificate. I need that title. I am a librarian within my own library. And hit me up if you know what that means. Like, I start referencing my own books, right? I have a shelf. No idea. Starseed Paranormal. Thank you. Love you. Thank you for commenting. We start collecting our identities from the time we are old enough to know we have a name, right? 2 years old. What are you? Well, I like Barbies. I like pink. I like cars. I like engines. I like motorcycles. I like Hot Wheels. I like whatever. That's who I am. I'm a kid who likes this. I like this kind of clothes. I like this kind of school. I like this kind of diversion. I like these kind of cartoons. And we assimilate. Labels suck. Yes, they do. Thank you, Starseed. Labels suck. And fuck that shit. That's who we become. And we have been ingrained. That's matrix shit, right? To be ingrained in you're a girl, you're a boy, you're this, you're that. Yeah, biologically, yeah, label, yeah. But go beyond that. I am so much more than a female with dreads that has an image, that sells themselves on TikTok and Facebook, that is a paranormal investigator, that is a medium, that is a nurse, that is a mom, that is a grandma. Underneath that, who makes the decisions? So way, way early, church, school, parents, peers, media, advertising teaches us to stop living and start collecting identities. A shelf of titles. Imagine this. You walk into a library, a shelf of titles. Medium, witch, Christian, pagan, mystic, healer, victim, survivor, mother, father. Maybe Mason, churchgoer, investigator, teacher, student. All of these different things. And then one day life goes, what if I took all of those away from you? See, I was really lucky. And for those of you that are new to me and meeting me, I was lucky. And I hate the word blessed. I really hate the word blessed because it means be less. But I was really gifted the opportunity on September 9th, 2021 to redeem myself and start fresh. And it's been a nightmare ever since. It's like mind blown, right? I died. Like I had COVID and I was a nurse working in a prison system. And I woke up to bilateral pneumonia and was sicker than shit. And as a nurse, I also knew that if I went into the hospitals, and yes, we'll label this conspiracy theory, not fact. I did not go into the hospital. I stayed at home. If I'd gone to the hospital, I felt like I would have died. So I did not do that. I stayed home. And with 104 to 106 fever, walked around the house when my temperature was down. I did breathing treatments. I did non-traditional treatments. And thank you. And on the 13th day, my husband got me up to walk me. My son has terminal cancer, and he had already been through COVID and made it through. And he stopped by the house to walk, to walk me and see me and say hi. And I threw a double blood clot to my lung and quit breathing. I made it to the bed. My family wanted to call paramedics. They wanted to call 911, and I refused. I'm not saying this is the advice you should take. I have a lot of faith and a very strong spirit pool. And at that point in time, I was given a choice by my spirit pool and accepted my choice, accepted my fate, made a contract, whatever the hell you want to call it. And I'm here to preach and teach and to help people. So what if it all went away? Well, I can tell you in a nutshell that in that moment, the medium, the witch went away. It didn't matter, right? Like I'm not breathing, I'm blue. Christian, everybody says there's atheists, and the atheists always find God in foxholes. Well, that's not who I reach to. Pagan, mystic, healer, victim, maybe. I was a victim of COVID. Survivor, yes. Mother, investigator, teacher, student, faith. I knew I was going to make it. That's all I had. I was stripped of everything. When you're laying there and you can't, decide who your alliances go with, and it's a life and death situation, it's kind of one of those wow moments where you go, Who am I anyway? Does it really matter? Let's start fresh. And so I allowed myself to be remade. And everything was taken away except for my children and my husband and my pets. So I had my basis. I had my foundation there. My husband was still with me. My house was still with me. My adult kids were with me. Would there still be somebody standing there or only costumes? Well, it depends on how strong you want to face that. Do you want to face it up front? Do you want to see what's behind the mask? Do you want to look in the mirror? The Cheshire Cat is one of the most metaphysical characters ever written. He appears and disappears. He leaves a grin, like he's watching you. He knows. He exists and does not exist in the same linear plane. And perhaps that is exactly what our identity is. A grin floating in the dark, a story we tell ourselves to make ourselves feel better, a collection of memories and roles, a mask so familiar that we mistake it for our own face. The cat asks Alice, "Who are you?" Alice cannot answer because she has changed so many times already. She doesn't really know who she really is in this moment. She's bigger, she's smaller, she's found, she's lost, she's confused, she's certain. How could she really know? The same question haunts us every single day because every version of ourselves eventually dies. You are no longer the person you were 5 minutes ago if you made a change. And if I flicker out, we have thunderstorms going on right now. We've got a lot of lightning and thunder. Every version of ourselves dies. The child, dead. The believer, dead. The rebel, the seeker, the wounded one, the one who survived, the one who chased power, the one who chased love, the one who chased meaning, the one who eventually becomes the ghost that's being chased. And yet we cling to their bones. This is where the metaphysical world becomes the wonderland. Everybody wants a title. Watch it. Everybody's retitling themselves, rebranding themselves, calling themselves something different, trying to make themselves seem bigger than what they really are, right? Because it's all in a name. Everybody wants an identity. Everybody wants a tribe. And that hurts because we are. You know, when you look at Maslow's greatest hierarchy of needs, that communal togetherness, the community, we have to have a collective. We need that. People collect spiritual labels the way people collect handbags. And if you're a dude, backpacks, whatever. Empath, starseed, chosen, initiate, psychic, oracle, shadow worker, light worker, dark worker. The question is not whether these labels have meaning, because each one of them has a significant meaning to us. The question is whether they have become substitutes for becoming something greater. At what point does the path become a costume? And this kind of ties into what I talked about last week, like how we're not for everybody and how when the cloak comes off and the magic wears off, are we what people really want us to be? Because people like me, we are all fun and games until you realize it's reality and we live it and you don't. My spirits I live with, and my husband and my family live with. Mostly my husband, because we're in the same house. The spirits that I go through, the spirits that I work with, it's a family affair. It's not just a, well, she can do this separate and everybody else has to just like kind of ignore it. There's shit that goes on in our house that would put people would run from. But we don't, because we know the consequences of what I do to work with that. So the question is not, for me at least, at what point does it become a costume? It becomes that for the people who don't accept us. Do we have to put on a costume to come into your place? Because if I have to dress up and put on a costume to be what you want me to be, then I'm not going to be that. It's going to be grossly disappointing. At what point do we stop growing because we have become attached to the story? And I see this now as we live. First of all, I see stories being stolen by other people. You know, locally, there's a lot of collective places that have just opened up that are stealing everyone's story because they want to be the newest, greatest big thing. But you can't be the dark worker that I am because you've not communed with the darkness that I've communed with. You can't know what I know because you haven't seen what I've seen. And you haven't been there. So you can say you have these skills and you can act like you have these skills. But really, when it comes down to it, are you attached to the story or the actual fuck around and follow through? Because it comes down to that in life. There are those people that, and we talked about this again last week. There's the pumpkin spice. They watch all of the great Hocus Pocus movies and Practical Magic and all the movies I love so much. And they make tea and they make margaritas and they have their witchy parties and it's wonderful. And I think that's wonderful. It's called sisterhood and communal time. And I love that. I love it. And then there's the Harry Potter witches who believe just enough to do the blow cinnamon through the doorway on the first of the month. And they do they're careful with the words they use and they know, but they don't want to be witches because there's consequences for that shit. Yes, there are. You're right. And I love those guys too. Whew. Listen to that. I love it. But then there's those people that really live the story, and then we're too much. We become too much for others to be around because we're too dark. Do you hear this? This is so cool. There's like thunder in the background, lightning. Because if I tell myself I am a certain thing long enough, eventually I begin defending the identity instead of seeking the truth. Hang on, I got a comment here. Multitasking. Becca, I will share what I have learned. I've been learning and understand myself. For years, I've been trying to determine which parts of yourself belong. Waiting for the follow-up. Oh, good. The corporate leader of the healer or the healer, the mother or the sovereign woman, Becca or Bella. Ooh, I love that. Logic or intuition, strength or softness, the woman who survived, the woman who is awakening. Hell yeah. And that's what we're talking about here. Thank you, Becca. So, that is so true because that is the truth right there. But what if none of those parts were ever meant to be exiled? What if your power comes from the fact that you can hold all of them? And there is the truth. If you strip down all of those labels, are you still that person? And what are you without being called that? Do we have to have that person or those people calling us those names to be who we are? I never was called a witch. Never. Until 2019, 2020. I knew what I was. Nobody called me that. Weird, yeah. I was called a lot of weird names. Hang on. I love this. Starseed Paranormal. What people see is not me, and nobody sees the real reason why I chose to put that on any chat room or social media. I guard all the time if they understand what truth is. So why are you guarding? Why not just be yourself and say, fuck what everybody else thinks? Just throwing that, not direct towards you, but more towards me. I realized when I had another paranormal team come at me, it was the first time I'd ever been in conflict with another team. And they were like, of course, you're not real, you're this, you're that. Well, why do I care who? For me and my place in this human life, do it for you. What is your truth? Don't be afraid of your truth. Nobody's walking in your shoes. Nobody gives a shit except for you and your family. And I'm at a point belief-wise where that's why this topic came out at me, because I tell myself I am a certain thing long enough. If I am a certain thing long enough, eventually I will begin defending the identity instead of seeking the truth. My truth changes every week. Who I am changes every single day based on my learnings. I am not the same person today as I was yesterday, nor am I the same person as I was the day before. My change occurs every single day. The most dangerous drug is not power. It's not money. It's not sex. It's not fame. It is certainty. Certainty ends curiosity, and we are certain of so many fucking things, and we are taught, do not ask why. That's church, that's education, that's state, that's media. Certainty ends humility. It ends curiosity. It ends learning. The moment we become absolutely convinced we know who we are, we stop asking questions. And this was a huge thing for me today. Like, which way was I going to go with this podcast? And I got caught up in sin and original sin and Lucifer and which side and vice versus virtue. And how much is written to keep us locked in a box and how much is not, and where does control start and where does it end? And this is what I ended up with. It's been a huge day. The moment we become absolutely convinced we know who we are, we stop asking questions. And that's when it becomes dangerous. That's when the moment of growth begins to die. The Cheshire Cat never, ever gave Alice certainty. Only more questions. Because questions keep us alive. That hunt for knowledge keeps us alive. Imagine every label gone. Everything you've ever called yourself in life, good and bad, because we label ourselves bad things too. Darkness for me for a long time was bad. Like, I was raised Episcopal. My mom was Catholic. My dad was Baptist. You know the story. They were married Methodist. I was like indoctrinated Episcopal. Father, Son, Holy Ghost, Bible. Imagine every label gone. Wipe it clean. Wipe your slate clean. Your religion, gone. Profession, gone. Spiritual gifts, gone. Nothing. Your affiliations. Who were you certified with? Who are you affiliated with? What team do you belong to? Gone. Gone. Your reputation, wiped fucking clean. Your followers, gone. 0. You're rebranding yourself, starting at 0. Your enemies, gone, not an issue. Your successes, gone. Your failures, also gone. Who remains? Are you panicked yet? See, I'm not. I see this as an opportunity. And that's what excites me. Because people discover they have spent years decorating the masks and very little time meeting the face within it. I met that. My kids told me growing up that one of these days you're going to get sick or you're going to die in nursing and nobody's going to give a fuck. They're going to replace you within 48 hours and you're not going to be. And this is who you've based who you are on. And they were right. It happened. And then all of a sudden I wasn't. This is where spiritual paths lead. Not to answers, because you're never going to get the answers. I vacillate every fucking day as to who I am and what I'm doing. To nakedness. Can you stand with yourself butt fucking naked in front of the mirror and go, okay, may look different tomorrow. It's okay. Let's do this. Rock on. Can you do that? Most people can't. It's terrifying that you are more than every story you have ever told about yourself. And less than all of them, all at the same time. That to me is fucking scary. Eventually, Alice leaves Wonderland. Not because Wonderland was evil. It wasn't. It was super fucking cool. Let me tell you, I've been there. Not because it was false, because it's very true. In that moment, not the next moment, but in that moment, it's true. But because Wonderland was never meant to become a permanent address. Some roads are for learning. Some phases are for learning. The mistake is moving into them forever. Because, man, we chase the high, right? We chase the adrenaline. We chase the rush. Those of us that are paranormal investigators that love the adrenaline, we ride motorcycles, right? We do things. We chase the rush. The beat downs in mental health, the staff supports in the prison with those inmates. There's a lot of adrenaline ways we chase. Some roads are for learning, and some identities are for learning, and some phases are for learning. Wisdom is knowing when a chapter has given you everything it can give and it's time to move on. Wisdom speaks to you when it says it's time to come home. Not to who you were, but to who remains after the illusion falls apart. So we talk about, and on my podcast, I've talked about many, many times, chasing the dark side, being in the dark, because I am darkness. I've always encompassed dark. I'm very Luciferian in my thought processes. I work with dark things. I pull dark things from people. I work in the dark. I work with the dead. But I'm also understanding that there's many brilliant things for us to evolve to and become. And stasis is not our friend. We have to have, there has to be movement. There has to be a static line, but the static line can't just be white noise. It's got to be actual vibration that moves us. Are you okay with what you see when you look in the mirror? Are you okay with the changes taking place? This is not one of those things that today I'm this and tomorrow I will be this and I will continue being this. I am not the same person I was this morning. I've learned so much since this morning and I'm ever evolving. And I'm so fucking grateful for the opportunity to be around people who challenge me, whether I agree with their beliefs or not, that make me want to reference and check and read and become more? Who remains when the illusion falls apart? Are you okay with everything you've built crumbling into dust and being blown in the wind? You know, kind of like the Kansas song, Dust in the Wind. All we are is dust in the wind. Are you okay being blown to another location, to another thought process, to another person, to another being? Are you okay with that? Or do you hang on to your fear and your persona of who you are, your brand, if you will? Yeah, I'm not a nurse. I mean, I have a nursing license. Yeah, I hung on to my nursing license. Am I still a nurse? No, not really. Do I think like a nurse? Yeah, I do think like a nurse. My bad. I do. In a lot of ways, I come upon accidents and it clicks and I still go through all of that stuff. Spiritually, am I the same person I was a week ago? Fuck no. Fuck no. Am I the same person I was when I woke up this morning? No, I'm not. At all. At all. Completely changed again. Eventually, Alice leaves Wonderland. Wisdom is knowing when a chapter has given you everything it can give. Wisdom is knowing when it's time to come home. But is home the same as when you left it? No, it's not. It's been remodeled. I like to think of it as, like we go on these journeys, and while we're on these journeys, then our shit upgrades, right? So we walk into our home and we need to clean house every fucking day. Like, clean house, get rid of the shit that you no longer need, because believe me, you do not need it. You do not. Perhaps the Cheshire Cat was never asking Alice for her real name. Perhaps he was asking, who are you when nobody's watching? Who are you when there's no audience? Who are you when all labels are stripped and removed? Who are you when you become so large or so small by choice that the costume no longer fits? Because eventually every path, every initiation, every philosophy, every belief, every identity, every title, and every mask arrives at the same fucking doorway and is written above in a single question. If you remove every label, who is left to answer? And that's the question that I want to talk about now. Who is left to answer? Who answers that knock on the door? The ping on your phone. It hits at identity, power, ego, awakening, masks, transformation, and coming home. Which is exactly what I'm talking about tonight, is coming home, right? It's dark, it's philosophical, and it's Wonderland weird, right? But not preachy, just who's coming home tonight? Who's coming to your door? And let's think about that for a second. Who's coming to my door tonight? Right now, in this moment, those of you guys that know me. So who is coming to my door? That's a really weird question. Who am I tonight? Well, tonight, stripped down, not butt naked, right? Obviously, because it's YouTube and Facebook. Get banned, and it would be scary. Who's coming to my door? A person who's seeking truth with a capital T. not afraid of a religious agenda, not afraid or concerned with spiritual, I don't know, reprimands and karma. Who is coming to my door? Who do I serve at the end of the day? I serve myself. I serve the best of what is in me to become the best of what I can be. Learning my boundaries every single day, because boundaries get pushed every single day. Ultimately, I think I have my concerns and I have who I want to be versus who I am. And I think that's important to know what your bottom line is, but also understand that as you grow, that bottom line may change a little bit. Do you change your whole system? Do you give in to something? That's questionable. Or do you be what you're meant to be? I like to reevaluate my definitions. And that doesn't mean that I'm giving in to things, but I'm aware the definitions may change as my attitude and my knowledge grows. My definition of virtues has changed over the years. It's especially changed in the last 6 months. I think temperance is a big thing. Learning to control and not be controlled. Learning to adjust and not be what people expect you to be, but learning what is comfortable and what is not necessarily easy, but what fits so that you don't question. If you're questioning everything you're doing, you're not doing the right thing. I think anything in excess is not good. Hierarchy, yes. Also, linear, yes. So, to me, there's a gray area in which you have to decide, where does your war fall? Like, where is your battle lines? Where are you willing to go? Okay, enough is enough. This is home. I'm not going to go beyond this or before this or after this, or backslide or move forward. Where's your boundary line? Where's your border for your property? Where's your border for your mind? You own a certain piece of land in your mind. Is that yours? And if it's yours, stake it as yours. And maybe those lines can't be crossed, but everything else can. What are you willing to adjust and what are you not willing to adjust? And I think that's where vice and virtue come in. Temperance, love, gratitude, but also morality, because the basic lines cannot always be crossed. Or can they? You tell me where that is for you. Because for every single person, that is a unique answer within yourself. And I personally believe that if you have to ask permission, then you're not where you need to be. I have learned to ask myself, and if I'm not comfortable with where I'm sitting, then that in itself needs to be adjusted, and discussed within myself with my guides and my spirit pool. That's where I'm at today. That may not be where I'm at tomorrow. And it's okay. For me, it's okay to change that. It's okay to see that there may be a difference in that. And it's okay that I may be a different person tomorrow. Because every single day we're learning to grow and to accept and to change. The thing is, we have to remain in control. That's where the humanity comes in. I don't believe that other things should be in control of us. I believe we should be in control of our own selves. And if you have media telling you what to do, and you have jobs telling you what to do, and you have family dictating what it is you're supposed to do. Where do you come out of those masks? Naked in front of the mirror by yourself. Where do you end up? Who are you when the masks are removed? What do you believe in when the masks are removed? What is your weakness? What is your kryptonite when the masks are removed? Because that's a huge thing. So, to the people left viewing this, I ask, who are you when you take off your mask? And are you okay with that person that's there naked in front of the mirror by yourself? Are you okay with what you see? What do you want to change? Because that's up to you to change it. And it's up to you to decide what choice you're going to make. And of course, the law of correspondence is always there. Do what you will, but understand there's a consequences for everything. If you don't take the kind route, if you don't take the traditional route where you hurt others, then things are going to come back to you. There is a consequences for every road and for every choice we take. Are you willing to uphold the consequences for your actions? And to me, that's where the fuck around and find out versus fuck around and follow through come in. So many people today live by fuck around and find out, but then they victimize and they run off when it comes time to find out. Are you willing to go, well, shit, that was a bad decision. That was a bad choice. Bad. I don't like the word bad. It was not a great choice. It was not a healthy choice. It was not the choice that we should have followed through with, maybe. But a hell of a learning experience, right? What did I learn from this? Am I going to repeat it again? Am I not going to repeat it again? Where am I at with these choices? That's what we need to ask. So that's part of that, looking at myself naked and afraid in the mirror. At the end of the day, am I okay with the choices I made? Evaluation. Am I okay with where I'm at? What masks did I use today? And am I okay with those masks? Or do I need to just take them all off and just be who I am? Because it's a lot simpler when you just take them off. Yeah, like I can put on a mask for this group and a mask for that group, but ultimately my truth is going to come out. Who I am is going to come out. So why not just be me in the first place? I'm a person that's made a lot of weird choices, a lot of maybe even unhealthy choices. And I've stuck with them till the end, until I was ready to undo or no longer commit to that choice. The consequences have been real. They've been real time, sometimes real time. And yet I still would not go back and change a lot of things because it made me who I am today. And who I am today is Julie, who's in constant change, who's willing and open to accept new points of views and new understandings and new information and new knowledge every single day. And who's willing to accept that maybe sometimes I've made wrong decisions and I've made wrong choices based on knowledge that I thought was correct. And I see differently today because I've lived longer than I did yesterday. I'm not the same mother that I was 20, 30 years ago. Jesus, I'm 64. Go back to when I was 26, 27, 28, 30 years old. I'm not that person at all. At fucking all. I'm able to chill now and go, that's not even fucking important. It's not. Because I've learned from my loss that the things I thought were important in my 20s are not at all important now. And peace of mind and being able to go to sleep at night with a clear conscience going, man, Yeah, I fucked that shit up today. Did not rock that to my best ability, but tomorrow I'm going to nail it. I'm going to try harder tomorrow. I'm going to do better. That's where it's at. So I ask that you all remove your masks temporarily, whether it's in the quiet at night in your own home, by yourself, in a closet, whatever you're comfortable with. Take off all your masks and strip down and look at yourself and go, am I okay with this? And understand that if you're not okay with this, you can fucking change it at any time. End of life, massive decisions, those aren't cool, man. Just change one aspect. Change something different tomorrow. Experience something different tomorrow. Learn something new tomorrow about yourself. And don't be so worried about what other people think about who you are and what you're doing, because in the end, it's you that has to answer for yourself. Are you happy with you without the mask? Stripped down. Are you in this moment happy with the knowledge base that you have and you have access to? Do you have what you have going on? Are you okay with that right in this moment? And if you're not, do something tomorrow to change it. And if you are, then keep living. I wish you guys the best from the Spiritual Speakeasy, where the bar is always open and all spirits are always served. Find your true self. Find your love within your heart, within yourself. Be true to that. Don't speak to the media. Don't speak to the shit that people are driving into our heads. Don't be in that matrix. Be that red person or that red dress in a black and white crowd. Dare to step out and be something different. Dare to change one view and one point today or tomorrow. Be your true self. Rise, elevate, flow. But most of all, find the peace within yourself that you can make it through the day and you can love yourself and love your neighbors as yourself. With that, I sign out. The Spiritual Speakeasy, where the bar is always open and the spirits are always served. I love you guys. I would not be where I am today if it was not from you all. I appreciate and love every single one of you guys. Be blessed. I hate that word. God, got to come up with another word. Be blessed, be guided. Listen to the truth with a capital T within yourself, within your heart, within your soul. Do something kind for the people that are around you tomorrow. Play it forward. Always play it forward. Love life. Give life. Be life. Because there's people out there that can't. Thank you, Becca. I love you, my sister. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy. Live. Live. Because we don't know when we're not going to live. So live for today. Live for tomorrow. And be grateful. Always find something to be grateful for, because God knows we have so many things that are so cool in this life. This is a fucking playground. Enjoy it in moderation. Enjoy it. It's last call for the Spiritual Speakeasy, where the bar is always open, spirits are always served. Next week, we'll bring you something even better. Love you guys. Shout out to my nurse friends that are on TikTok, for my Hecate friends that are on TikTok, for everybody out there. PTFX, the Spiritual Speakeasy, Raven's Eye Paranormal, Nezuko, Ninja 500. Everybody, I love you. Take it easy. Stay safe. Good night.